Version 2020.16.3 will take approximately 25 minutes to install. To begin, park your car and close your doors, and you will not be able to drive or use the touchscreen. Alright, so let's go ahead and install it right now. Unable to start the software update because Sentry mode is set to on, so let's turn that off, close, hit it again, install. I still gotta wait another 2 minutes. I want it to install immediately. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So I just got the notification that a new software update is available. I downloaded it and we're about to install it, and then we're going to dive into it and see what's the updates and to see if there's any difference or if autopilot or full self-driving has gotten any smoother on our drive back home from Glendale to Los Angeles. Let's get into the video. This is the slowest 2 minutes I've ever waited for. Alright, looks like it's updating autopilot. Hopefully it gets more smoother in this update, especially the auto lane changes and braking. So I've never actually been in my car when it's updated like this, but it's 83 degrees right now and it's about midway or a little over halfway finished with the update, and the AC has been running because it's pretty hot outside, and all of a sudden it just stopped. There was a clunk noise at the bottom and on the screen it says updating electronic control units. So it's kind of interesting. So I wouldn't recommend being in your car for an update if you're outside and it's pretty hot out. Alright, we are live again. Definitely do not recommend staying in your car for a whole update. Looks like we are up to 2020.16.3. In terms of if there's any differences of like the games or anything, it looks like it's basically the same. I feel like I've had the toy box, the nearby charging sites, and the dash cam improvements. So maybe it was just a change to the autopilot or the full self-driving systems to make it smoother. So let's get our way back to Los Angeles from Glendale to see how the autopilot, to see if there's a difference with autopilot and really to see if it's any smoother or not. Alright, so it's about 24 minutes back home or 9.8 miles. Looks like I'm going straight here, so it looks like I'm gonna get onto the 134 East Highway and then back down towards Los Angeles. So this is a local road, so I will be able to enable autopilot and full self-driving so that it stops at each of the traffic lights automatically. So right now it's just stopped completely. A little bit of braking there, so I wouldn't say there's a difference from the last update to this one. Still pretty jerky, I would say. I thought there was going to be more features on this update, some small stuff, but I guess not. Like, looks like you could format the dash cam, which you could do that before. Probably just a lot of minor fixes and bug fixes from this update. But yeah, thanks for watching another video, guys. If you're new here, my name is Dennis. Picked up this Tesla Model 3 about 6 months ago, and I make videos about my experience. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. Hopefully there won't be too much traffic on the way back. We're still in quarantine, so hopefully people are staying home and not necessarily going out, but restaurants are starting to open up, businesses are starting to open up, so I can certainly understand people are going to get a little restless and want to get out and do stuff. So we're just waiting at the red light. Okay, I just hit green. So I tapped on the accelerator. Now it's accelerating a little bit. Cruise control speed is set at 30 miles an hour, so I'm going to increase that. But it looks like I'm limited to 30 miles an hour, so I can't go any faster. There is a light coming up here, so it's starting to slow down, but I just hit the accelerator and it's going to go straight through it. There's a red light coming up here. It's going to slowly start to slow down and coming to a complete stop. That one was actually pretty smooth in comparison to the last one. There wasn't really any jerking or braking, heavy braking on that one. Alright, so there's a green light there. Hit the accelerator a little bit. Looks like it's already detected the next traffic light, so it's starting to slow down. I'm going to tap on the accelerator to give that confirmation that it can go through. Looks like it decreased our speed though to 29 miles an hour, so I just hit it right back up to 30 miles an hour. I do have to get into the right lane though, but there's a van that went into the space, so I'm gonna have to manually override this area and just kind of wedge my way so we can get onto the highway. Just squeezing my way a little bit there. Sorry. Getting onto the highway exit. Right after I get past this meter or this light, then I'm going to turn on autopilot. Okay, throwing it on autopilot. Cruise control speed set to 75 miles an hour. We're going about 50. We're in the perfect lane to get to our destination. Got a little bit of heavy braking there. Staying in the right lane, 55 miles an hour. It looks like the autopilot system just decreased our speed from 70 now to 65. Now down to 60 and then back up to 65 and now back up to 70. So I guess it's because it realizes we're on the highway exit, so it's trying to adjust the speed depending on the exit. The autopilot turned on my right trigger there, so it's signaling that we're going to make a right to the right exit. Now we're going to take this highway ramp to the right side, and it's going to follow the curve. Not too bad, not too jerky at all. Pretty smooth. We're going about 55 miles an hour. The cruise control speed is set to 60, so I'm going to increase that to 70 because these cars are definitely going a lot faster. In terms of the conditions outside, it's 82 degrees, clear sunny days, not a cloud in the sky, so autopilot shouldn't really have an issue with visibility today. Autopilot wants to get into the left lane, so let's go ahead and trigger that. Pretty smooth, easily got into that lane. This is interesting. It looks like we are going to be taking kind of the local route instead of the highway route that it typically goes through from Glendale to Los Angeles. So, which means there's going to be a lot of stop and go through the local routes because of all the traffic lights. So we'll be able to see how well new software update does with the stop sign and stoplight recognition. Autopilot wants me to get in the left lane because it thinks it's faster, but those two cars in front of us are kind of going the same speed, and if not, we're actually in the faster lane currently. So we're just going to stay in this lane. But now it looks like the BMW has pulled ahead, so let's go ahead and trigger the left lane auto lane change, and looks like it's pretty good. Going about 70 miles an hour. I've increased the speed to 75, so we should be increasing speed now. Autopilot wants to get in the left lane again, but there's a car coming pretty fast on the left side, so I'm not going to even try to get in. So once that car passes, okay, now I've hit the left trigger lane to get into the left lane, and we are good. We're going to stay on this highway to go through the local lanes, kind of through Echo Park. There's definitely a lot of traffic lights on this route, so autopilot should have no problem navigating through it. We're going about 77 miles an hour, and the freeway is coming to an end, and this is where it gets to the local road section of our route. There's going to be some traffic lights on this route, definitely, and there's of course going to be cars for some bumper-to-bumper traffic. So navigate on autopilot is coming to an end because we're getting off the highway, but full self-driving stop sign and stoplight recognition should continue as we run through these intersections. We're getting off the highway exit now. It looks like there's a bunch of cars clumped to the right side. So let's see if we can signal autopilot to get to the left side once it's safe. So it looks like there's not too many cars in the left lane. I've signaled it already. So let's see. Oh, that's right. Autopilot won't go into the left lane. Oh man, some heavy braking there. Autopilot won't go into the left lane because we're not on the highway. So of course there's no auto lane change on local roads. So I'm going to go ahead and do it manually, and then once where it's safe, we're gonna throw it back into autopilot. Alright, some heavy braking there. Slowing down to about 3 miles an hour. There is a stoplight in front of us, so it's probably going to come to a stop unless I trigger. So I just hit the stalk down, and it should continue through the light. I'm still trying to figure out which method I like better to signal the Tesla to go through the intersection. I'm not sure if I like hitting the stalk down. I kind of like hitting the accelerator to have it go through the intersection. Okay, so now it's detected that the traffic light turned to a yellow, and it's come to a stop, but we're kind of ahead a little bit. So even though it detected the intersection was back there, I've accelerated it just a little bit, and then to where the intersection really is, and autopilot just completely freaked out there, as you kind of saw. So it's a takeover immediately, and it disengaged autopilot. So I wonder, am I going to be able to re-engage autopilot? Okay, so yeah, looks like we're good. Coming to a stop again. It's already detected that light, even though it's pretty far away. I guess it's detected it as 400 feet away. Okay, we're starting to go. Slowly inching up, increasing speed to 20 miles an hour. Keeping a pretty good decent distance. So it looks like it started to slow down for that intersection there. So I accelerated, and there's another intersection here. So I hit the accelerator again to give that confirmation to go through. And there's another intersection here. So I hit the accelerator again. So I can certainly see how annoying this could be if you're in a highly dense city with a lot of different intersections and traffic lights. So you probably want to turn this off if you're kind of in that area. It's probably more annoying than driving itself. It doesn't really give you that sense of alleviating your driving fatigue because it's just annoying and it stops all the time. Okay, it looks like it detected that acceleration intersection again. And then it started to slow down, and now my speed limit, my speed is limited to 35 miles an hour. So, and can't really, it's having a tough time figuring out where these, I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's having a tough time trying to figure out where the intersections are, the line is. And it looks like we detected this yellow red light, and we're coming to a stop. Okay, so autopilot detected the green. We're going to accelerate. My speed is still limited to 35 miles an hour. So I'm just going to let that be, coast through these roads. I guess full self-driving is stopping at each intersection, whether it's red or green, kind of waiting for your confirmation for it to kind of go through the intersections, because it's probably still learning what is green and which intersections it can go through and which ones it can't. So currently it is still kind of annoying, even though it's in beta, but still kind of cool to see the technology and how it can detect the stop signs or stoplights even though it's red or green. So pretty bumpy road over here. Looks like my new camera mount is holding pretty well, so that's pretty cool. I didn't really notice that it was a yellow light, even though I probably would have ran it if I was driving, but autopilot of course did. Started to slow down. I thought for a second whether I should hit on the accelerator to let it go through, but I knew it wouldn't be fast enough, so I just let it just slow down to a stop. Okay, so we are green. Accelerating it to 35 miles an hour. It's still keeping us in the lane on these local roads, which is really nice. I don't have to touch the steering wheel at all, but it likes to slow down a lot. I guess it gets confused with these cars on the side on whether it doesn't really know what to do. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of take over because that lane ends and I'm not going to be able to auto lane change on these local roads. So this is a stop, so I'm stopping and then kind of going to go through. Okay, I'd love to see how autopilot would navigate through that section. That was a very confusing, even for us human drivers. I bet it would be a little bit confused. Alright, Alright, so that's pretty much it. I don't imagine I'll be using autopilot for the rest of my trip home. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thanks for watching. Hit that like if you enjoyed this video and comment below on your experience with 2020.16.3. And then if you think it's smoother or not, and what you think of the current stop sign and traffic light detection. Love to hear your thoughts. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.